this up. So how's everybody trading this morning? Anybody take any trades? I know Chuck got a good fair value extreme right down here. This is a setup right out of the course setups guide. This is a okay, let me get that. All right, guys, so here we are. So these type of conditions we're looking at right now is a balanced market condition. We have point of control on the volume profile pretty much at the same level as the VWAP. And that typically makes for very choppy markets. So we will see what happens here. I mean, this kind of looks like it's putting in a lower high just based on, you know, price action alone. So we'll see how this works out. And we'll take our time this morning. I'm not looking to rush in any more trades. I'm already up almost $1,300 this morning in my cash trading account on Tradeovate. This is live money. This is not a prop firm.
Trump discussed Russia and Ukraine with Qatar, Amir,
and we'll go from there, guys. So we're going to be patient. We're going to look for some good setups.
Saying the Iran situation will work out.
And gold doesn't look like it's continuing to the downside either. It's starting to form a distribution down here. We put on our volume profile. All right, so this is upper. I mean, that's still a good level to short from, guys. This could work out. We'll see what happens with that. Yep, there's going to be a lot of chop at VWAP, especially when we have point of control at the same level. So careful trying to catch a move from here, guys. You could probably get some good scalps, but morning, Richard. Hope you're doing well. Oh, look at that.
Trump says Qatar Airways ordered over 160 Boeing jets.
See if we can load into this one.
Boeing shares spiking on the announcement, up around 3% now.
Boeing shares spiking on an announcement, some type of announcement. Don't like the volume, the cumulative delta here.
China pauses its unreliable entity list measures on 17 US entities, according to their Commerce Ministry.
That was nice. Up 1,300. That's pretty much flat. Got nothing out of that, guys. So that was a good example of a scratch. Everything is going here very well here, Richard. I'm up $1,300 in my cash account, just scalping my way into profits today, just trying to catch that 2K. All right, so now we're up at upper band. We got this low volume node right here. I mean, this would typically be a fade value area extreme, but we got a lot of buying volume stepping in here, so I'd be very careful with shorting this. I'm going to pass.
China pauses export control measures against 28 US entities for 90 days from May 14th, according to the Commerce Ministry. So again, China pausing export control measures against 28 US entities for 90 days from today. So this is part of the moratorium between the US-China sanctions, as China is now pausing its export controls on the entities in its unreliable entity list. Just keep in mind the Trump-Qatar signing ceremony has now ended. Again, key announcement was the Boeing order, around 160 Boeing jets valued over $200 billion, cited as being the largest in history, just causing a spike in Boeing shares. They were still up around 2%.
Okay. A little bit of a rejection there, maybe. Woof. So the fade value or extreme would have worked out, ran against you by a little over 10 points, which is not a big deal. 40 ticks. No, tick strike. It was going off the hook, off the chain. Tick strike was loud and clear, and it didn't really slow down. So we have a lot of very sporadic price action here, guys. This is very choppy. Someone asked, what's a good risk to reward for scalpers trading VWAP bands? A good risk to reward is 1-to-1. And then, of course, you rely on a higher win rate because you're scalping. So 1-to-1 risk to reward, and if you win more than half your trades, you're making money. Obviously, minus commissions. So the cumulative delta is not confirming this move up, guys. If you notice, cumulative delta is going down. So when we get a move up like that in price, but cumulative delta goes down, that's called a divergence, right? And we can expect to fade those moves because the cumulative delta is not confirming the move. When they work, when price and cumulative delta moves together, that's a confirmation. So I'm sitting up here, 1,400 bucks. I mean, I expect a pullback day. I don't know about you all, but I mean, we are due for a pullback. But I've been saying that for days, so here we are. Oh, and it's OPEX this week, Thursday through Friday. Options control the market. That's good for scalping, JD, because we can expect pinned price conditions, not a lot of movement. Sometimes it depends. Depends on how the dealers are hedged. If there's a lot of retail buying calls or puts, they'll make it so that they lose money. It's typically how it works. So D-bomb, my tick strike, these are on 4 and these are on 6. Are my settings on tick strike. So I don't know if you're using similar settings or what. Any scalps taken here, guys, are being very, very very forgiving, aren't they? Whoa. That was a good 20-point pop there. I'd be careful here, guys. Some funky price action going on. Very thin. I'm surprised we got through the yearly VWAP logger. But in traditional Wall Street fashion, to really screw everybody, they gapped it up over it overnight. Just to screw everybody as much as possible. Yeah, it's struggling. We also got a low volume area right here at the upper band. So we have some confluence that this area will hold. Cumulative delta is still pretty bearish here, but if it starts curling, I would stay away from shorts. The selling volume has been also dying out here a little bit, but this action is a little too wild. It's easy to get caught off sides here. I'm already up pretty nicely, and I don't want to ruin it. Yesterday, I had a really crazy day. Let's take a look at yesterday. Let's look at this month.
Secretary of State Rubio will travel to Istanbul on Friday.
So this month, I'm up $18,000 after commissions. So that's in 14 days. $18,000. It's pretty good. Here's my equity curve. Two kind of crazy days. The 8th and the 13th where I battled it out. Very tough days. Yesterday was I traded for hours, guys. Hours. Fighting this short position, getting it scaling in and scaling out, trying to get more out of it. I could have closed for nice profits so much earlier in the session, and I didn't because I wanted more. So that's greed for you. But, you know, before commissions, 19,358, only 1,200 bucks in commissions on 18,000 bucks. That's pretty damn good, I think, for a scalper. I'm very happy with that. 1,200 bucks. It's the cost of doing business. Yeah, more. Always want more. More is like kryptonite to my trading style. My style depends on me clipping and catching my moves consistently. It literally relies on that. I usually take a couple of minis. You know, I try to keep it around 2 or 3. I usually almost always do 1 or 2. Well, obviously 1. I almost always 2. Very rarely is it just 1 mini. You could put Trader Poppy's asking for sim trading. What is a realistic trading fee number to put down? Also, did I hit the record button? I did. Okay, good. A realistic fee, I would put down $5 per round trip, I think is realistic. Still, cumulative delta is not confirming any of this. That doesn't mean it can't keep going higher. It's nothing but selling on the delta so far. Pretty much since the 35 candle, since this candle here. But they could be absorbing this, right? So we could get the move up. We're smack in the middle of a distribution right here. Back up to upper band. If you've been scalping upper band and VWAP, you've probably been doing pretty well. So far, it's looking like a very tight, balanced market. If you look at the higher time frame, this is the hourly here, guys. Look at this distribution on the entire session. Very defined distribution here. So on the higher time frames, we are in a balanced market. We have been in it essentially since yesterday morning. We've been in this fair value area. There's no way they can charge for paper trading. View for contract commission for futures and options is here. Use no activate, there will be no commission charge. No, it's got to be a simulated. You're saying you got to activate the simulated commissions. That would be nuts. Nobody would use it. So value area high on the volume profile is pretty much the same level as upper band. Flat VWAP, point of control, and VWAP are in the same spot. Lower band and value area low on the volume profile, same spot, as it doesn't get any more balanced market than this.
As well.
Now, the one thing you want to get careful of, when we're this tight, you're better off buying the bottoms and shorting the tops. Now, eventually it's going to break out of here, right? So if you're long, stay here at lower band and it keeps going, you need to be very careful because when it breaks, it's probably going to go pretty far. So that's not a trade that you can hold on to. You've got to cut it. Now, what can also happen, we can get this big rejection wick and then it comes right back inside, right? So you long here, keeps going, it gets bought up, and then we're right back in balance. That happens all the time as well. But it is what it is. You can wait for the rejection wick and try and get on that. That's always an opportunity. Looks like we're going to come back down here to lower value, and we'll make some decisions down there. No. I mean, most people would expect lower from here, I feel like, but they're probably not going to make it as easy.
Do you see the release of the weekly EIA inventories numbers?
Hey, Emilian. So this is just the standard one deviation VWAP. I anchor it to the beginning of the future session at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I use two volume profiles. This is the session volume profile, SVP session volume profile, for the entire future session. And then I drop an anchored session profile, which is in the drawing tools. I just press this anchored volume profile in the drawing tools, and I drop it right at the beginning of the regular trading hours.
Keeping an eye on the API stock change numbers, which are the private inventories numbers that came out later last night.
Who's going to try and take this short again?
A larger than expected build of 4.287 million on expectations for a draw of 2.4 million.
All right, I'll try and scale in here. was. Look at that. 10 points. I try not to D-bomb. You know, when we're trading in balance like this, obviously there's a lot of edge to trading the valuary extremes. But what I worry about, you know, if they're going to move it out of value, they're going to prop the bid and they're not going to let anybody shorting out. And they're going to push them right out. So you get one shot at that.
Bottom of the hour, we see the release of the weekly EIA inventories.
And then the next push up might be it, right? So
on the prior draw 2.032 million. The range sees draws of 1 million to 2.9 million.
I try to wait for some time to pass in between.
A draw of 0.938 million on the prior build of 0.188 million. Distillates inventories forecast a build of 0.12 million on the prior draw of 1.107 million. And crude Cushing inventories, the prior was a draw of 0.74 million.
They push this thing out. Let's see the delta. I mean, there's a little bit of a shift here to buying for the first time. First real contextual shift to buying. Now that could always be another bull trap. So, especially when we're in a balanced market like this. So really, guys, the move is to keep shorting here until we break out. I know that's scary. Hey, but Chuck, if they're not looking at value area high, you know, if you got our ICT people that are, all they see here is a fair value gap up here. That's all they're looking at. Naked charts. I mean, it might go up here. Shorts are still paying up there. Shorts have been continuing to pay off of the value area high. Yeah, the problem with RSI is that we can stay overbought while this thing rips another 100 points. And it's really more overbought. I don't trust that thing.
US's Scalise says we'll get the tax bill to Trump's desk before July the 4th.
I do. You can see it right here on the left side of my screen. This is all tick strike. It doesn't come over through the Discord though.
Says US House Majority Leader Scalise saying that we
You
will
can
get
see
the
it.
tax bill to Trump's desk
Can't hear it.
before July the 4th. To keep in mind, House Majority Leader Scalise currently speaking to reporters.
Yesterday I was sharing my desktop on my MacBook when I'm on my trading station, I'm running it through OBS so I can stream to YouTube and all this other stuff at the same time.
1 minute remaining now. I'll be leaving with the US EIA crude oil inventories.
Yeah, I would imagine that most people wouldn't want to hear it, Chuck. That's my inclination. It's on YouTube. Nobody really complains about it, but I don't think I would want to hear. I don't want to hear somebody else's music. I don't want to hear somebody else's tick strike. You guys play your own music if you want music. You don't need to hear mine. Ross Cameron used to do that stuff all the time. He would play music, and I hated his music. All right, we got an initial balance, ladies and gentlemen.
209 million. Gasoline
And we are at IB mid, value area high.
1.022 million, which is lower than the expected draw of 0.938 million. Distillate inventories, a draw of 3.
Which side's going to break first?
3.144 million.
My money's on down.
Expected bill
But
0.12 million. And crude Cushing inventories, a draw of 1.
Actually, I'm not going to have any money on it, but my guess is down.
0.069 million.
Okay, this is kind of the grindy behavior we see before it pushes out of value. We'll see what happens. Price range is narrowing. Every time it sells off, it gets bought up again. So maybe we do break to the upside. And it might not necessarily be a fast break. We can grind out of here. I'm not taking a trade on this either way, guys. I've already traded this a bunch. I'm going to wait for a fresh contextual change. We're right at point of control. So how's everybody trading out there, guys? Let's hear some updates on your trades. Are we trading well? We following our plans? We waiting for good setups? Take any of these shorts. Value area high made some good money. VWAP scalps. Value area low. Longs down here was a good one. Lots of good setups. This was a fade value area extreme long. We had return to value, fade value area extreme short, and VWAP scalps. So lots of good setups so far in the first hour of trading. Unlike yesterday, where we had trash. I mean, if you're a trend trader, yesterday was like what you lived for, right? You know, you show up every day for that one day and you make a ton of money. Yeah, it does seem like it does want to go higher. I would agree with that. This grindy kind of chew through all the sellers' behavior is what it looks like. So no trade for me, guys. I'm going to wait. We were in discovery yesterday. Yes, we were. All day. Actually, interestingly enough, we were in discovery from 4 a.m. up until about 11 a.m. and then we spent the rest of the day in value, actually. Up until today. So price discovery was right here. So that was over pretty much by 11 a.m. I'll be right back. Oh, rejected once again. Would you look at that? Weird how it does that when we're trading in balance. It's almost like it's predictable. So until there's a fresh contextual shift, guys, we're going to keep doing the same thing. We do not anticipate breaks. So where is everybody logging in from this morning? I am in sunny South Florida, Palm Beach area. Got Chuck in Pennsylvania. Logger, Pacific Northwest. Who would imagine the loggers from the Pacific Northwest? Matthews from Germany. Santa Cruz, California. Wichita. Ed, I think we also got another Kansas person. Eric's from Kansas. Bulgaria. Nice. Brooklyn. Singapore. Minnesota. Rainy New York City. Greg, I'm from New York City. Grew up there. Yeah, Eric's from Topeka. Calgary, Alberta. Helsinki, Finland. Manitoba, upstate rainy New York, 51st state over here. Valencia, Spain. We have Tasmania, Australia, Portugal, Ireland. Pete, you're by me. I'm in Jupiter. Pete, I am also in Jupiter. Imagine that. Crazy. We got India, Athens, Greece, Thailand. Man, we are spanning the world. I think this is just so cool how we can all congregate from all over the world, put all that nonsense differences aside and just focus on one common goal and trade together. I think it's very, very cool. Newport Beach. I love Newport Beach. And Laguna. Oh, love it over there. Beautiful. Very pretty. My parents have a timeshare in Newport Beach that I used to go to regularly. What a fun place to visit. Scotland. I've been to Edinburgh, and I'm going to Greece early next year. Can't wait.
So total US distillate fuel stock fell in the latest week to the lowest level since April of 2005, according to the EIA.
Maybe. I don't know. This is still, I mean, we have this ascending, it's kind of like this flat top pendant or whatever the hell it's called. I'm not a, but that does look like it's about to break to the upside. But I'm not trading this tightening range. I don't feel like having my ass handed to me today. I'm already up nicely, so we're going to wait for there isn't a really good setup. I'm going to be patient. I think it was Pelican Hill, actually. That does sound really familiar. It was really pretty. Lots of golf courses around that area. Where did I play? I played Strawberry Fields, I think it was called. Yeah, so Jay, for sure, that is absorption, but also it can do this, I think at this point it's hard to deduct any formal conclusion based on that. But yes, that is a clear divergence. But at this point, I don't think I would use it to make any trade decisions. Because it can continue to do this for hours, unfortunately. So that's another big reason why I'm being patient here. Because if this breaks and then we start seeing some positive buying, like you're screwed if you short here. So the signals are very mixed right now. Of course, you could be scalping these, but I don't feel like getting caught off sides right now. And I feel like I've missed a ton of opportunities at this point, and it's going to break here sooner or later. So we'll see what happens. I keep pretty much the anchored volume at the beginning of the session, unless I delete my drawings and I just redrop it because it cleared out all my drawings. That's the only reason I reset it. I just want to see it from the beginning of the regular training sessions, and this is the entire session. So that's pretty consistent. I don't really change the beginning point. So if I remove my drawing here, it gets rid of my anchor VWAP, so I just drop it again. Same place. No break, guys. Slowly selling. So tempting to short. My luck is that, I'm going to short it and it's going to go. So, no thanks. I don't feel like letting that happen to me today.
US Speaker Johnson on state and local tax says, I'm confident.
Yeah, okay. So Logger says ES has been trading below VWAP since the open, while NQ is going the same, but just above VWAP. Shouldn't they both be on the same side of VWAP? No, not necessarily. So sometimes there's relative strength and weakness. And NQ is relatively stronger and has been than ES the last couple of days. So while they may flow together, they'll have different volume footprints because of their relative strength or weakness. Morning, Tony. How's Apex doing? Good. Man, we've been in this trading range all morning. I could have scalped my way to profit target by now and called it a day. Let's take a look at gold. Oh, see my arrow right there? I was calling a value price discovery continuation short, and that one worked out if you were patient. Took a long time to get there, but I already had an arrow there from the last time I looked at gold, and it was like right here at 195. So that would have been an excellent trade if anybody took that one. That played off to the tick. It was IB mid, lower band, and value area high on the volume profile. Really nice short. Yeah, that's nice, home broker. I'm being a little more cautious today, especially after the day I had yesterday. A little gun shy. I don't want to go from being up $1,500 to being stuck in a trade for 3 hours. Good. I'll tell you what though, if I was just sitting down, I'd be scalping the shit out of this. So just really depends on where you are. Yeah, JD, I have the same problem. Sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not. And what happens if I don't cut it right away? Then I feel like I'm stuck. Then I really don't want to lock in that bigger loss. Yeah, it's one of my shortcomings. I am not a perfect trader, and I will admit it. I'm not flawless, but I am relatively consistent. See, based on this cumulative delta, I find it really hard to buy VWAP here, even though it's been working all morning. It's also value area low. Ugh, look at that. Keeps getting bought up, man. All right, fine. Let's do it. Well, this is going to be it, isn't it? Got like a quick $50. Taking my $50 and running. That put me up well over 1,500 though, after commissions. It is grinding down, yes. And based on the cumulative delta, it's been grinding down the entire time. Lots of selling, but somebody's buying it. Somebody's picking up all these shares.
According to Commandant, Russia's Lavrov will not take part in talks in Istanbul.
So I don't really have a scalp target. LJ Biz says, what's your average scalp target? Example, a certain amount of ticks or certain dollar amount. I don't do either. I'm literally scalping what I see on the dome, on the depth of market, and on the chart, right? I'm trading what opportunity lies right in front of me. And I am like in sync with the price action as it relates to my levels. So I scratch a lot of trades, guys. I mean, I get in and out for almost nothing a lot of times. Like if we go to my results this month, where does it say? Oh, it doesn't say a lot here. But you know, some of my trades are almost nothing. My average expectancy on a trade is $66. And I'm normally making $1,000 to $2,000 a day. Yeah, the Saudis are picking it up, very possible. Do we buy? Well, it's only 10:47. We still have a lot of the morning left. Let's be patient here. So LJ Biz, normally when I'm trading minis, not so much. If I'm trading micros, I will trail micros for sure. But when I'm scalping minis, I'm typically in and out. I'll scale in and out, but I only have 2, 3 minis. So I don't, you know, I typically don't just scale 1/3 of my position. I just don't. I lock it in, wait for the next trade. Now, when we're grinding around like this, there's not a lot of opportunity to scalp. There's the long. My conviction towards the long side are kind of, I don't like that ES is below VWAP though. Gold coming back to lower band. Let's see if that happens again right here. I think it would be really hard to take this short in gold right there. I don't like that second short as much, D-Bomb. It could totally work. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but you know, I don't like it as much as that first one. All right, do we get in on the bid? They pushing it out? A lot of buying coming in, and there's been a shift on the cumulative delta. Is this the move? I don't want to buy into a bull trap right here at value area high. Sure looks good though. This is how I get burnt. Because really, this is still a short. It's a short until it proves otherwise. And it still hasn't proven otherwise. We need acceptance. Distance or time out of this value area. Rejection. I'll try again. Yeah, I mean, you could ride that momentum a little bit. I'm not convinced it's done, and the cumulative delta is setting up for a curl here, so I don't want to short it either. Got some real buying coming in now. Come on. I screwed that one up pretty good. Still up 1600. Bad fills. Hey, Moaf, glad you like it. I believe that our president was just in Saudi Arabia, wasn't he? Oh, I'm glad I got out. That looks like a tank job. I still kind of like it, actually. Ugh. Buy it up. Come on. Buy it up. $16.74. Yep, this is cumulative delta. The bottom one is delta histogram. Both available on TradingView. And I'm pretty sure this is Tradevate, obviously. Yeah, I don't really use moving averages, Andy. Doesn't really align with our way of how we look at market context.
What is the Financial Times? VTech are to move all US-bound production out of China.
Back test? Continuation? Sure looks like it. You going higher?
VTech plans to shift production to Malaysia, Mexico, and Germany.
Mustafa is asking what my deadlift is. 420 pounds. What is that in kilos? Was it 2.2? I can deadlift 900. No. It's the other way. 420 divided by 2.2. 190 kilos.
We have posted out the FTPs on the feed for those interested.
Looks like we might switch over to grindy action, guys. This is not where I thrive. I'm up almost $1,700 this morning, and I might be happy with that, guys. I might call that. Might lock myself out and switch over. Might not get a pop, JP. It might grind its way out of here. Very, very slowly. Doesn't always pop out. Grind like yesterday. Especially when the VIX drops, guys. And right now the VIX is at 18. Right? The volatility is lowering. right? So we get used to NQ at 20 plus VIX, but that's not the conditions all the time. The VIX eventually drops, volatility calms down, and what we get used to previously goes away. And then eventually the volatility will return. It goes in cycles. I thought we had CPI yesterday, and we had FOMC last week. We have retail sales tomorrow. PPI is tomorrow. PPI is tomorrow at 8:30. All right, you enjoy that puppy dog, Tony. I'm going to lock myself out, guys. This choppy action, or I shouldn't say choppy, grindy. Look at this, we might get some more sellers here. Do I take this short, return to value? Oh man, it's tempting. I'm going for it. Last one. All right. What happened to my thing? Return to value. I mean, that's technically still a fade value area extreme. I just shorted into your stop loss, JP. What is the performance? $17.50. I'm happy with that. That's a good day. I don't want to ruin my day chasing another $245. So that's a big red candle. And we got a shift in the cumulative delta again. That was just a giant bull trap. Again, market has been rife with bull traps. I wonder how Chuck's doing with all these bull traps being laid everywhere. I know he was liking that move up here. Consistent. All right, those of you on YouTube, thanks for joining us today, guys. I appreciate it. We're going to keep trading in the Discord. If you ever want to join us in the Discord, there's a full free week-long trial in the description of this video. You can join us every day for free for a week in the Discord. My entire VWAP Wave course is also free inside that premium. You can get it for a week. You can go through the whole course for free. If you like it, stick around. If not, no big deal. I hope to see you guys in there. Thanks, guys, for joining us on YouTube. For you guys in the Discord, we're going to keep on trading.